Hey guys, I'm going to go over some of the histological slides today in the lab. So these slides are posted on your Canvas page as a histological image of epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. So I'm going to go over each of the slides. Before you go over these slides, in the lecture slides, what we did in lecture, study these slides in the lecture, the tissue type, their characteristic, their location, their function, and then try to identify. These are the slides you're going to be going to learn, and then in the exam, you're going to see similar slides and will be asked what kind of tissue are they, where they found, and what are their function. So here, this is the section of the simple squamous, and this is from the kidney section. So this is kidney. In the kidney, you have renal corpuscles, you see. So there is like in the kidney, there is not only one type of tissue, there are several. So you see these are the tubes, the white area, and then there is renal corpuscle where there is glomerulus. Around the glomerulus, you see there is whitish area. That whitish area around that, there is simple squamous epithelium. But when the kidney has tubes, the wall of the tubes have simple cuboidal epithelium. In this magnification, you cannot see it. So if you see glomerulus and the tubes, that is here the simple cuboidal epithelium and simple squamous epithelium. Okay. Let's see the highly magnified cells here. The same slide, but magnified. You see here, it's a 400 magnification now. If you see, there is glomerulus, which is the mass of capillaries, and then white area here. So this is the space, Bowman's space, and then you see this nuclei around it. These nuclei are the nuclei of simple squamous cells and then connective tissue around it. Okay. Again here, you can see here, simple squamous, simple cuboidal, and you see the basement membrane. Here is, these are the renal corpuscles. So this, if you go around the glomerulus, those are simple squamous epithelium. If you go around the renal tubules, then it is simple cuboidal epithelium. One more magnified and the different staining. This is one of the glomerulus again. And then around the glomerulus, this is the Bowman's capsule, space white area. When we filter blood, it comes here. And outside it, this is the layer you see here, simple squamous epithelium. Okay. See, these are the nuclei, these are the flat cells here. Next, 1000 magnification of the venules. So when you have a small vein, and in the small veins wall is like single layer of cells, and they are simple squamous. You see the nuclei, and then here will be basement membrane. This lumen side is apical area. So this is basal area, and here is apical area. This is the lumen, space of the vein, blood vessel. And these are the nuclei, you see. These are the nuclei of simple squamous epithelium. This is the simple squamous epithelium. As I said earlier in the lecture, epithelium are three types. Some of them are found on the surface, some in the middle cavity, some in the inside cavity. So mesothelium is like from the pleura, peritoneum, and pericardium. And this is the mesothelium, particularly the pleura. And you can see here, these are the simple squamous cells, several simple squamous cells, 1, 2, these are. And in the center of the squamous cells, you have nuclei, dark nuclei. And you see the very minimum extracellular matrix. So this is simple. You will see similar slides in the lungs too. Uh, Another simple cuboidal epithelium, the longitudinal section of the kidney, which we see earlier. So this is the lumen of the tube, and you see all the small nuclei around it. Basically, you can see here dots, dots. Those are the simple cuboidal epithelium. Their basement membrane are this side. If you magnify, then you will see better. So let's see here. This is the lumen here in the center. This is the connective tissue basement membrane, and you see single layer of cube cell. These are the nuclei of the cuboidal cells. So this is simple cuboidal. Where they are found in the kidney. Again, highly magnified here, simple cuboidal. So this is the longitudinal section of the renal tubules, kidney tubules, longitudinal section, 1000 magnification. Again, these are the basement membrane here. See, basement membrane, pinkish line, and then these are the nuclei of the cuboidal cells. So these are the simple cuboidal epithelium found in the kidney. This is how you understand all, and you have to practice it again. Now, another example of simple cuboidal epithelium from the thyroid gland. So if you take thyroid gland, you can see here too. So this is basement membrane here again. And you have simple cuboidal epithelium, like only one layer of cells. One nuclei, 2, 3, 4, these are the. This is the pancreas, and in the pancreas you have ducts, pancreatic duct. And the duct wall is made up of single layer of cells. Again, you purple, not purple, this pink color is the basement membrane. And on the basement membrane, you see single layer of cells. So this is simple cuboidal. Again, this is only 400 magnification. Now, you will see a better diagram in the upcoming slides, but here this is from the small intestine epithelium. And you can see this is connective tissue, then smooth muscle has smooth muscle wall in the intestine. Then you have connective tissue here, the basement membrane, and then under the basement, this basement membrane goes all the way. And on top, you see, these are the columnar cells packed. You cannot see even single nucleus. So this is the villi, villus. And on the villus, you have a lot of columnar cells, single layer of columnar cells. That is simple columnar. Let's magnify, 400 magnification. You see, same villus. So this is connective tissue here, then basement membrane, and then you see the nuclei. And to identify them, there is another important thing. You see, there is fuzzy looking structure on these cells. These are the microvillus. They are the enfolding of plasma membrane of these columnar cells, tall columnar cells. Okay. Now, 1000 magnification of the similar cells, you can see again basement membrane, and you can see the cells. Simple columnar epithelium. And then microvilli. And in between some of the cells, you see white looking cells, they are goblet cells. They make mucus which covers the intestine over the microvilli. This microvilli increase the surface area of the epithelium. So this is simple. Like simple columnar and pseudo-stratified ciliated, pseudo-stratified columnar, it's very hard to differentiate. If you see cartilage here, which is coming from the trachea, and big cilia here, that means that is pseudo-stratified. And you will see more goblet cell there too. Here, this is simple columnar, 1000 magnification. Now you can see well. See, there is basement membrane, and then column-like cell. Let me show you. This is one column-like cells. Yeah. So this is like one cell here. I'm going to make column of this cell. Sorry. See. You see the cell, and you see the nucleus. Okay. Pseudo-Stratified columnar, as I said earlier. If you see here cartilage and then here connective tissue and then basement membrane here and then cells and a lot of cilia and mucus, that is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. Why we call it pseudo? Because their heights are different. The cells here, the columnar cells have different height and their nuclei are at different level. So let's see magnify. See here, there is basement membrane here, then the columnar cells. Some of them are goblet cells, these white cells here. And then you see cilia, longer cilia, a lot of mucus. So that's why this is pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. Even highly magnified, 1000. See, basement membrane. And you can see the nuclei. Some of them nuclei are here, some are here, some are here. And you see larger than the microvilli. So that's cilia. And a lot of goblet cell compared to small intestine. Pseudo-stratified, 1000 from the trachea cross section. So you can see all the layers. And then basement membrane, always look at the basement membrane. The nuclei, columnar cells and cilia. This is stratified squamous epithelium in the skin. This is the skin slide 40 times. So in the skin, you have like connective tissue, and then you have stratified squamous epithelium, several layers of cells. And if this is from the skin, then you will see thick layer of keratin here. But if you see this section from the vagina or from the oral cavity or from the esophagus lining, then you will not see keratin here. So you're going to see basement membrane here and then like hundreds of layers of cells. Every day in your oral cavity, you lose a lot of cells. Okay, so everywhere there is friction, rubbing, erosion in that area, you have this kind of. Now, hey guys, if you're here, I will talk to you later. I'm recording. I know nobody was here, so I'm recording the histology slide. I can talk to you once I finish it. So this is stratified squamous epithelium from the basement membrane, from the vagina, and you can see there is several layers of cells, stratified squamous epithelium. You can see small nuclei, these cells, white cells, there is nuclei. And if you go on the top, you see there is cells like flat, almost lost their character. And you can see in the skin, you can see like here, follicle is coming somewhere in this section. You can see some glands like sweat glands, sebaceous glands. Now you can see here. So you have basement membrane here, nuclei. You can see the cells of the nuclei. And then you see the cells become bigger, they lose their nuclei. Another slide, same thing, basement membrane, several layer of cells. In the bottom, it looks like round, flat cells, but in the top, it is like flaky. Some of the cells are coming off. So this is a stratified squamous. Same thing here, highly magnified. This is from the esophagus, same. You have basement membrane and several layer of cells and then squamous. And some of the epithelium is coming off. You see flaky. That is the characteristic of stratified squamous, non-keratinized. Here you go. So is the skin slide. On the skin, you can see here, we have the connective tissue, areolar connective tissue. Then you have basement membrane here, this one. And then several layers of stratified squamous epithelium. And these cells are keratinocytes and they produce keratin. And when cell dies mixed with keratin, that is called keratinized. So this layer is keratin, and that's why skin has keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. And this keratin protein makes skin waterproof. But if you take the similar tissue from your esophagus or vagina, then that will not have this layer of flaky layer of keratin. And that's why oral cavity, vaginal wall are not waterproof. They are wet. Uh, Again, the same things. So this is the skin slide. And you can see on the top, like this keratin is coming off. When you rub your skin, you see some rubbing of dead cells and keratin. And this is, again, a lot of layers of cells. These are the nuclei of the cells. So if you see on the bottom, very dynamic cells because these upper cells dies and they replace from there. Similarly, in the skin, you can see the other type of tissue. Like when you go deep in the skin, in the epidermis, then you have stratified cuboidal cells in the wall of sweat glands. So you see, this is the lumen of the sweat duct. And then this is the wall. And here is basement membrane outside. And then if you count from here, cells somewhere are three, like 1, 2, 3 layer here. Here is 2 layer, that's why we call them stratified. And what kind of cells are there? They look like cuboid. So we call them stratified cuboidal. Another kind of cells are the tissue are transitional. This kind of tissue, as you know from the lecture, they transition, they change from one shape to another based on whether there is a stretch or not. So this is from the bladder wall, urinary bladder wall. You can see there is a lot of muscle, then there is connective tissue, then there is basement membrane, and then there is several layers of cells. And if you look into magnified cells, then they will have different kind of cells. So let's go and see magnified. You can see here, like these on the bottom, cells are like some column, like there is basement membrane, some column-like cells, some round cell. But if you go on the top, it looks like umbrella cells, some round cells, some flat cells, and that's why they transition. So we call them transitional epithelium. This kind of epithelium is found only in 3 locations. One, in your urinary bladder wall, another upper part of your urethra, and another lower part of your ureter. Even better, see here, this is the basement membrane, nuclei of the cell, several layers. You see the shape of the cells. If this bladder is full, this is going to be squamous, flat. Okay, so this is all about the epithelial tissue. Let me go over another type, and that will be connective tissue, and I think I will go over them later. Okay. Okay, so I am done with this one. I'm going to stop recording.